Hey, what's going on, guys? Nick Unsworth here, and welcome to another session of the Life on Fire virtual summit. So, I am super excited to be here with you live today, and I just want to congratulate you on taking the time to be here because we have spent a tremendous amount of our time, money, energy, blood, sweat, and tears a little bit to travel all around to bring you amazing speakers. And so today we have Alex Mandossian, and he is not only just one of the legends with online marketing, but he's a guy that is family centered. He's a guy that has a huge heart. He's a guy that is going to teach you how to leverage Google Hangouts and how to get ranked on Google and on YouTube to get more traffic for your business. And so here's the thing. If you want to set your business and life on fire, then you definitely want to learn from someone like Alex Mandossian. So he is very sought after in the online marketing industry. Today's session is going to absolutely rock. And this was an behind the scenes kind of snaking through his office MTV Cribs style session. So that is super, super cool. What I want to do before I dive in is I want to actually just talk about what's happening with Pencils of Promise. And so many of you guys know we've been promoting what we call the Business on Fire bundle. And the reason we're doing that is, number one, it's to help you grow your business. We have over $6,000 worth of courses and live training and content in there for you to help you grow your business. And it's not just about money, it's not just about profits. We want to help you live a life on fire, a life where you love what you do for work, a life where you spend time doing what you're good at. You spend time helping and serving people. Maybe your business gives back. You feel like you've got that purpose deep down inside. So that's why we created the Business on Fire bundle, is to help you grow your business and set your business and life on fire. Now, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough and share with you guys exactly what is inside it. And I think it's really important because it really is such an incredible opportunity, and we got so many of our speakers that generously donated their products and their services, and you definitely want to take advantage of it. And so I'm going to swap out and actually click over to my desktop. And so on the desktop here, I'm just going to share with you guys exactly what's in the bundle and why to take advantage of it now. And so here's the thing. For a limited time, it's a $197 donation. And here's why it's a donation. Because we are supporting Pencils of Promise. We had an amazing session with Adam Braun. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. He started that organization, and they literally build schools all around the country. And so what's cool is that when you donate for $197, two things are happening. One is you're getting this incredible Business on Fire bundle, and then number two, you actually are allowing the proceeds from that to actually go to help us build a school in Guatemala and to help kids and give them the gift of education, give them the gift of opportunity. So here's what is inside. We've got a ticket to our event called Ignite in December. So we have over 300 like-minded entrepreneurs ascending into San Diego. It's going to be so awesome. If you are coming, we're excited to hang with you live. We're walking on hot coals. It is going to be a total breakthrough, transformational 3-day event, and you're going to leave there a different entrepreneur with a plan to grow your business. Also, Ignite Your Webinar. This is from John Lee Dumas, #1 podcaster on iTunes. He's done well over $1 million using webinars, online webinars, to sell his products and services. So if you'd like to know how to do that, know what the secrets are and how he's done over $1 million, you can grab this course that normally is $597. And here's the thing. I mean, when you have access for something like this, it's like, why not learn from someone that's done over $1 million just last year? Do you think you could learn something from that guy, right? So that's a $600 course. You get one of my mentors' courses, Michael Burnoff, and it's called Call to Action. The deal is with Call to Action is it's actually live coaching calls. These live coaching calls happen over a 5-day period, and you hop on the phone with Michael Burnoff. Now, granted, you're in a group setting, but it's very interactive. And what happens is that over 5 days, you get more done in your life. You'll get more tasks done, and you'll create so much progress in your life by getting things done and off your plate. It will free up your mind space. It will free up your day. You'll actually get more time back. And he says you'll get more done in 5 days than you would in 5 months. And I challenge you to do it. So if you get this bundle, you have to go through this course. It literally will change your life. And he's I like to think of him as he's like a Tony Robbins. I mean, he is incredible with what he does. I've taken this course multiple times, and he sells it for $600. This is a true gift. You're also going to get Brian Tracy's Time Management Made Simple. To us, the Life on Fire is having more time to spend with your loved ones. He also has High Performance Leadership. It's another $497. We have our course, Product Launch on Fire. This is to help you take the knowledge and the skills that you already have. And you may not even realize it, but you have knowledge and you've got something special inside you that you could package up, that could create a book, that could create a video series that you can package and you can sell, or you can give away for free, however you want to set it up. But Product Launch on Fire takes what I've invested hundreds of thousands into mentorship and coaching and launching products, and we've done multiple six-figure launches, and you're going to get all that knowledge for only $997. But the bundle, you're going to get that all included in the bundle. You're going to get 2 tickets to Michael Koenig's Publish and Profit event that's in February, and also our partners on this project, Robin and Mike, and they totally rock. Their product list building machine is so key. It is it's a course that gets great reviews, and they've got lots of happy customers, and the reason is because every single business needs to have an email list. You need to have that to follow up and need to know how to nurture them and to attract them. And these guys are specialists with client attraction, and you should definitely get that as well. And so there's over $6,000 for the bundle. And guys, you can just go to businessonfirebundle.com and you can grab all of this for only $197. And so we've already gotten crazy testimonials that have come back from people that love the bundle, and we did it to totally hook you up. And the cool thing is we're building a school along the way. So I know we've been talking about this a lot, but I just can't stress enough why we're so passionate about this, because it's going to help you, and we're going to help to build a school in Guatemala. And we've already raised thousands of dollars for the school in Guatemala. We will be making a big deal out of, we're going to be, showing, getting the big check over to Pencils of Promise, as we, finalize things before the end of the year. And we're excited. Our goal is to build one school together. And, with your help, we might be able to build 2. It's totally possible. So it's businessonfirebundle.com, and you can grab that puppy. All right. And so I'm going to jump back and jump back and grab the camera here. And so what I want you to encourage you to do right now is to just focus with us. You're here live, you're watching this, and you're investing the time in this, and to just really just grab a notebook, grab a pen, and get ready to take some awesome notes, because this session is jam-packed with golden nuggets of value. So I'm going to roll the tape, and definitely hang on to the end. We're going to be doing Q&A, so do not want to miss that. So any questions that you have, definitely write them down. We want to make sure that we get any questions you have answered. That's why we're doing this live, and we look forward to your feedback at the end. So buckle your seatbelt. Here we go. And I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you are meant to be, to make more money than you ever thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire. Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and so we are all the way up in near San Francisco in San Rafael, and we came up here and flew up here because we wanted to bring to you Alex Mandossian. So I've been following Alex's work for years, and so he is just one of the most successful online marketing experts, and the guy just absolutely crushes it. But what I love about Alex is that, and what you're gonna find in this interview today, is that he just has a huge heart, a giving heart. His business is about purpose and passion, profits and giving back, but and he's also got this family-centered kind of core value to him too. So you're going to learn some amazing online marketing strategies here today, how to live your life and business with purpose. And so we're going to go bust in on his office. So what do you think? Follow me. Let's roll. Hey, Nick. What's going on, man?
Welcome.
Good to see you, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome, man.
This is it.
This is the digs. Saw your car outside.
Thank you. Well, this is a virtual company, so
Yep.
I'm the only one who works here. except for the cleaning people that come once a Thursday. And
Nice.
This is the meeting room. We do our deep dives here, and the other room is where we do the Google Hangouts.
Nice. I'd love to take a look at your
Well,
setup and for the Hangouts. So
Cool. This is when we're on air, so I turn that on.
that's cool.
This is the backdrop. So the video camera's here.
Okay.
They see this backdrop. It's not a green screen. That's my lucky bamboo.
Nice.
And when I'm doing screen share, I'm using one of the other screens.
Okay.
There's a microphone here.
And so walk us through, just to give us, what I love is it looks like, this isn't incredibly expensive gear, right? So walk us through like some of the gear and what someone could use for a Hangout.
This is a Logitech camera. It's high def, and it's about $90.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
I have a Mac. It's not high powered or anything. It's just a desktop. I have 3 screens because I have my screen where I'm on camera there.
Okay.
I have one screen share that I can use, and then I have my email and Skype that I'm multitasking if we need that to happen.
Nice.
Most important, setting the life on fire means all in, like
That's
in poker,
it,
so
right
it's
there.
my all in rock, right? Very, very important. And then when I'm working, I turn off all my phones, and no one can, I lock the front door, no one can come in, not even the UPS or FedEx guy. And this is my timer, so I'll do 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute segments where it's a countdown timer, and depending on what the timing is, it just, you point it up, and then the buzzer goes off, and then I take a break. That way, it's compressed time and very, very productive.
Focused, compressed, I like it. And so how about for the mic? So people are always wondering, like, how do we get good, clean audio?
Okay, this is Audio Technica. It's about $150.
Okay.
And it's a USB mic.
Okay.
So it's just connected directly to the computer. Super easy, super simple.
Okay.
I don't have a light kit here,
Yeah, I got the one light right there. Nice and simple.
My favorite quote, I just read it, all the time. No regrets, just lessons learned. So if you play to win, you're either learning or you're winning.
That's it right there.
So this is really it. And sometimes I'll have my lozenges when the throat goes. So
nice.
It's everything self-contained. We do multiple millions of dollars from this office. We have a satellite office in Australia where my general manager is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like 24-hour business. They're 17 hours ahead.
And that, what I love is just, is you don't have to have a crazy setup or big office or high expenses. This is simple, it's very comfortable, in your environment, and so it's cool.
I usually don't have guests, right?
Yeah.
As you can tell.
Yeah.
And then that's the key, the goldfish busting out of the small goldfish bowl and getting out of the frame and going into the bigger bowl. And the goal there is you just getting into, you got to play bigger and better. And that's what it reminds me of. And
get out of the little bowl into the big bowl where the freedom is.
Totally.
So
it's scary.
It is scary.
But it's worth it.
It's the limbo, the jumping in the air. You're not sure if you're going to make it in. So I love, you get the physical books. So what are a couple just books that have, maybe what's one book that has really changed your trajectory or really made a huge impact?
3 of them.
3, okay.
This is one of my mentors, Roy H. Williams.
Okay.
And these 3 books, Magical Worlds, The Wizard of Ads, and Secret Formulas, these 3 books have changed my life.
That's awesome. I've never read them. I'm gonna have to.
It's repurposed from his Monday morning memo. He didn't create the books, but they're all #1 bestsellers.
Nice.
Right? So very, very important book. This is a really good one by Dan. It's called Predictably Irrational.
Okay.
And it's one that a lot of people don't know about, but it's taught me how to make an offer.
Okay.
Right? So I have my favorite books are here. I'm transporting some of them. There's no really one book that makes all the difference, but for me, they're all slow read books. So every one of these are highlighted, they're dog-eared, they're marked. It's really important to read fast, I think.
Yeah.
But these are my slow read books. I have over 3,000 of books, and these are the ones that I've read the slowest.
Okay. So this is a Zaz machine?
Yeah. What it does is the astronauts use this, and what it does is it vibrates. So let me see if I can start it here.
And so what's the outcome of doing this?
The outcome is it's making your muscles move.
Oh, because you have to stabilize?
Yeah, you have to stabilize. You have to, if you got to go to the restroom, this accelerates the process. So you better not do it. But if you get on here, check it out.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
All right, can you feel it?
Yeah.
And if you hold a weight,
it's like this?
You can feel your arms
crazy.
going. And so that's what I do like early in the morning. Kind of wakes me up. All you need is 10 minutes. It's like a 1 hour workout.
Oh man, this is
it's cool, right?
It starts. Yeah, I feel like my insides are just like jumbled around.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
crazy.
It's called a Zaz machine. Wow. Hopefully, we'll get sponsorship from Logitech and Zaz.
That's crazy. It really is interesting, like being on there for a little bit, like
feeling. You do this.
Do push-ups?
Yeah, but you just kind of.
Or just even stand there.
Just do this. That's all you're doing. Check it out.
Try that out. Oh yeah, that's crazy. So is this for like muscle toning?
Muscle toning. So when the astronauts were up in zero gravity, their muscles get out of tone.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Is pretty crazy. How often would you?
Once a day.
Once a day. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Zaz of that?
This is a workout area.
There's the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I got Larry King here. I have some pictures. I have Muhammad Ali over there in the far corner. This is Larry King, and this is actually at his house. This is a mastermind I organized for Harvey McKay. Okay. That's Harvey right there. And that's Larry. It's his wife. And then we got the champ over here. We went to his house, Muhammad Ali's house, and this is a mastermind that we put together.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that. How that came together. So how did that?
Well,
that's an incredible group of people.
The way it started is I went to Harvey and I said, "Have you thought about doing a mastermind?" He said, "What's that?" And I said, "You gather a bunch of thought leaders, and you impart your best practices that you put in all your books." And he's got multiple bestsellers.
Yeah.
So it ended up becoming a $75,000 mastermind.
Wow.
Some very well-known people. We have one billionaire. We have one person who has the largest sports memorabilia company in the world. We have someone who helped start Best Buy. We have Larry King, of course. We have the former chief counsel for GoDaddy before it sold for $2 billion. So, we got some, fairly well-known thought leaders there, and they've never been in masterminds before.
Okay.
So we ran it for 2 years, and I facilitated a lot of them. So I was the leader from behind there, and Harvey was the guy teaching.
It seems like in that scenario, so you did some work with Harvey, and then essentially taught him this model, and then helped facilitate it.
I helped facilitate it.
So then you kind of got,
I got access to all these people. I got access. That's why I did it. I did it at no fee.
Okay.
So that I could access it, just like we were talking about a no fee thing. See, most people don't understand the fastest way to get world-class case studies is don't charge a fee and just go for the testimonial.
Yeah.
And then that trickles down and it parlays into others.
I think about that as like the anchor client strategy.
Totally.
So like it was I used to go out.
You need 5.
Yeah,
Start
I got
with
like
5.
Evan Pagan and like Fred Kern, and I just wanted to do free work for them. And now I'm doing some work with Joe Polish for that reason. But it's crazy that what happens. Those contacts. For you to put in that work, it's like you just took your network and you totally just multiplied it.
Yeah.
And that all came from giving first. And I think that's a really cool.
It's a tide riser. So it's not another boat that rises. It's the whole tide that's having all the boats rise.
And so did you do the same thing to meet Muhammad Ali, or was that
we
similar?
met Muhammad Ali, and we met a bunch of thought leaders through this mastermind.
Okay.
Because everyone who Harvey knows, we ended up meeting. Harvey knew Muhammad Ali, and Larry King was a big fan of Muhammad Ali. The way Larry and Harvey became good friends is he invited the champ to a restaurant. So this whole thing was like a giant networking extravaganza.
And so you put in the time to
2
help
years.
2 years to facilitate this. And then, what would you say has been just some of the outcomes from it? There are things that you could point your finger at and say, man, this one relationship led to something, or what are a couple things?
There's one member in there who made it possible for me to go to 2 Giants World Series at no cost.
That's cool.
There's one member in there who I consider to be one of my best friends, who was destined to be a billionaire.
Wow.
Harvey is a very close friend of mine, and I feel like I have access to his entire network.
Right.
Because
Wow.
he's grateful that all I taught him is how to facilitate the mastermind.
Yep.
He knew the essence of all the teachings. He just pulled them from his books.
Okay.
But what he never had done before is gather people to teach them what are inside the books.
Yeah.
He just sold massive volume. This was high-end and low frequency versus low-end and high frequency.
That's incredible. I love it. Well, I think we should grab a seat and dive in,
cool.
and let's do it.
All right.
All right, so we are back with Alex Mandossian, and I'm just fired up because we're just off camera for 15, 20 minutes, and there's so much that just to catch up on and talk about. So
that's the fun.
Oh
it's
my God.
It's the B-roll of the B-roll.
Yeah, totally. So there's already been tons of just knowledge that has been kicking around, things that we're going to test and implement. So, and one little nugget before we dive in is just because I think that this is something that we're going to test right away is tell us about your concept on payment structures. So. We always do a full pay or we do a 3 pay or what have you, but you had a great idea when we're off camera for a second.
Well, full pay and multi-pay. So the first thing we do with full pay is we throw some bonuses to reward them for full pay.
Okay.
And we discount the full pay, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So the multi-pay is the full price and the full pay is the discounted price.
Yeah.
That's not the way most people do it.
Yeah.
The way most people do it is the full pay is the full price and the multi-pay is the excessive price.
Yeah.
So that's principle number one. Second principle is who said that all the payments have to be the same amount?
That's what's crazy. I know I always would be, 3 pay be the same amount for
if
three
you have
payments.
something for $4,000, 3,997 because it sounds better.
Yeah.
Why not have the first payment be 497?
Yeah.
And then you can square up the rest of the payments, however many you have. But have the first payment low so people feel like they're taking advantage of you.
Right.
And then you're crazy.
And getting in easy.
Just getting in a lot easier because it will lower the resistance.
So that my takeaway on that is just, so the first payment doesn't have to be equal and just make that one easier to get in. And then now that you've got rapport, you're delivering your content or delivering your course or coaching, whatever it may be, then they're already in, then you just need to, have them stick through the payment. So
that first pay should be what they pay extra. Yeah. And then the rest of the pay should be what they would have paid in the full pay.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Sweet. So that I just wanted to drill down on that one little technique. And so we're going to dive into Google Hangout marketing. I know that's an area of your expertise. So I think that's a big outcome for today is to have those just tangible techniques and tactics, how to rank, with Google Hangouts, how to deliver them, and how to build a business like you have, multi-million-dollar business and leveraging that technology. So we're definitely going to dive in and go to that. But first, I want to just kind of drill down into just, your lifestyle. And, I think about, just going to your website, purpose, passion, profits. And, to live a life on fire, we really believe that you've got to have purpose at the center of your business, and so tell us about just your purpose with your online business and how you think about the concept of purpose in general.
Well, for me, it started with a guy named Galileo Galilei, and he was Italian. Mm-hmm. He lived in the city of Pisa, and in Pisa, there's the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? Yeah. And one afternoon in the 1600s, he climbed all 294 stairs.
Okay.
And it was warm at the time, and he took 2 cannonballs with him. And he dropped them, and they both hit the ground at the same time. And the moment they hit at the same time, he had just created the scientific method because he had nixed over 2,000 years of history and an edict that a guy by the name of Aristotle had stated, which is a heavier object falls faster to the ground than a lighter object. Well, one cannonball was twice as heavy, so it should have fallen twice as fast, but they both hit the ground at the same time. And so before Galileo, it was all about what someone of aristocracy would say. Like imagine Aristotle, he's mentored by Plato, who's mentored by the great Socrates, right?
Yeah.
And Aristotle's mentee was Alexander the Great, so comes from a lineage of mentors and masterminds. Yeah. So he's in this toga in Greece somewhere, right? Or Macedonia.
If he said it, it must be right.
It must be right.
It's got to be.
And you would think some kid could have held up like a candle and then another one that's half as heavy and then watch them drop at the same time. And I do this on stage. And so what Galileo taught me through that example was observation is a scientific method. And yesterday's scientists are today's marketers. So as you know, on Facebook and elsewhere, it's not what I think is so or feel is so. It's what I test is so. And we have a world-class question we ask every day. What are we split testing today? 250 split tests a year if you just work on weekdays, right? Some people work 7 days a week. But imagine, how fast your business will boom. So what I did is that concept, I learned that at QVC, which is like one of two major home shopping networks. I was there in 1993. And back then, in the infomercial days, Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, he was in the infomercial business, so I knew him back then.
He was on the summit.
Yeah, and Tony Robbins with Personal Power One, and all the Guthy-Renker products, we were selling that kind of stuff. I had a guy named Dick Butkus. He's a football player. He had this quick cook grill, and so he went onto the QVC set, and there was this little closed circuit TV, and I'm thinking Galileo because I remember the story. And so there's a closed circuit TV that is showing the sales, and as the sales come on and heavy, there's this big mountain of sales, and then when they drop, they go back down like this. Can you see it? Now, everyone else was watching the TV with Dick on stage. And so he goes on stage, and they're showing a video of him, and he's talking about the Quick Cook Grill, and we have an infomercial. And so all of a sudden, he said something, and about 45 seconds later, there's this giant, like Mount Fujiyama. It's like a contraction. I've had two children, right? And I see that on the monitor, boop, 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 like a contraction, and then back down again. So I take a note when that happened. And then
say it again, Dick.
Well, we didn't know what it was. And then he'd say something else, and all of a sudden we'd see it and come down. And then the phone room was in the same building. The guy would come in panting, saying, "Who's on stage, man? We're selling a ton of these." So there was about 3 massive sales, and then it went back down. So what I did, that was the VHS days. You don't even remember what a VHS.
I used
you don't remember what a VHS?
I know
These
about
are the old
VHS.
days. So I asked the producer. I said, "Can I have a burned master of the show?" It was only 10 minutes. And so what I would do is I would take note of when the sales came in. And then I would go back to the video and go about 30 to 45 seconds before and see what he said.
During the spikes,
And then when he said that thing, we put that into the infomercial, and then the sales spiked up. So observation, not conjecture, right? Experimentation, not hearsay. That's what a marketer does. And you know what? I fail 9 out of 10 times, but winning 10 out of 100, that's 10%. In most cases, that's a 500% better batting average than most. Usually people are 2%. So it's the observation that we've learned, and Hangouts have taught us that. I coined something in turn of the century, 21st century, the Ask methodology, Ask campaigns. That was a knockoff of Socrates. And so most of everything I've learned is through observing what works and reverse engineering it.
And so as far as, on the split testing side, what would your advice be? Because I think for a lot of people, split testing, that's just kind of like, where do I start? Or is there software or tools that makes that easier for people?
How about before the split test? How about starting at altitude versus starting at sea level? You want to know how to do it?
All right.
Totally. So you can, first of all, you want to go and find buyers, not browsers. So you go to google.com, there's a browser. You go to Amazon, and you have buyers. So you have best-selling books in your niche or category. Look up the titles. Look up the subtitles. The subtitles are the promises of the book. The titles aren't as powerful. Look at the subtitles, and those are your headlines. You go to dummies.com. Are those browsers or buyers? They're buyers. Right? If you find a dummies book that's in your category, find that book. That author is a joint venture partner, right? Potential. And then if you look at the title and you look at how that book is set up, there's your clue. There's your observation. You can go to magazines.com. Are they browsers or buyers? They're buyers. They're niches. So you look at the title of the magazine, you look at some of the headlines and subheadlines, and then clickbank.com. They tell you what sites are working. You know the headline, you know the subheadlines, you know the guarantee, you know the FAQs. So start at a very high altitude by first finding out what's working, and then start your split testing. And we always start split testing not with the headline. Okay, this is going to cause some controversy.
What?
We start with the offer. The offer is more important than the headline.
True. So I love that. So basically, you're leveraging sites like ClickBank, Amazon, and allowing that to shortcut the time to market. So that's where you can get your research, look at what other people are doing, grab headlines from there, grab content, grab ideas in those on
if you
those
borrow
sites.
from one,
Yeah.
Nick, that's called plagiarism. If you
Yeah.
borrow from many, that's called research.
Yeah, that's true. Sweet. And so once you've got to that point, and then you're basically saying from there, testing your offer first, as opposed to just headlines or trying to make these micro tweaks versus you might be off base entirely with the whole course.
You might, there's really 4 different options, only one of them works.
Yeah.
You have the right market, right? And
Yeah.
you have the right message to the right market.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the one that wins.
Yeah.
Okay? But then you have right message, wrong market,
Yeah.
right? You have wrong message, right market,
Yeah.
and then if you're a total idiot, you have wrong message, wrong market. So only right message to right market
Yeah.
works. And it's not easy. I mean, most of the time you're up against it. But here's what I know to be true. Never look at a blank palette or a blank canvas. Don't start from scratch.
Yeah.
There should be never writer's block. There's sources like who else is getting success that I want?
Yeah.
Even in a different industry. Henry Ford, as the story goes, there were 2,000 car manufacturers at the turn of the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
The people were making cars when they put the car on a block, and there was no assembly line, right? He goes to Chicago, sees a meat packing plant, and all of a sudden this meat's coming through all the butchers. They're taking little pieces off, packing them, right? If you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening, he said, what if we could move a car that way?
Yeah.
So he brought, rope originally, before there were chains, and he pulled the car through, and he took something that worked in another industry that had been there for years, and he brought it to the car manufacturing industry to the point where he invented a middle class. The cities were going built out versus up. And you can do this, like if you're a dentist, you go to a chiropractic trade show.
Yeah.
And chiropractors are ahead of dentists in most cases. Mm-hmm. And you see things that are working in medical field, wellness, but in a different industry, you can pull and borrow from there.
Yeah.
Just like with marketing, certain niches are ahead. You never have to start from scratch.
Yeah, I think that's key just to get to market, because it's what I see clients that are still trying to figure things out, and they're thinking and thinking and thinking. It's like, just do that kind of a research, get it to market, and then do it. Then let your actions test and go from there. And so from that, you just you mentioned things that only 10% of the time you're going to get something that
if you're
hits.
Good. If you're really good.
And so what I want to do just for a quick tangent is just talk about mindset and overcoming these failures, because a lot of times, just from my experience doing some coaching, is that I'm finding that sometimes a client they'll put all this energy into doing a webinar or a hangout, and then it doesn't hit to their expectation, and then they want to try something radically different, a whole different way to market. But how would you look at just failing in business and how to turn that around in your mind to overcome that? So maybe is there a story that you've had of something that was a big failure that you turned around and it turned it into an aha moment?
Yeah, well, there's plenty.
Yeah.
I think the mindset that I'd want to impart is never fall in love with your product. Never fall in love with your offer, because then you have a bias. And then you won't want to split test. Never fall in love with your headline.
Yeah.
Never fall in love with you can fall in love with people, just don't fall in love with your offer.
Yeah.
Because things are going to change. You're in the world of Facebook. You can't do an evergreen Facebook product because it's changing way too fast, right?
Yeah.
People are pissed at Zuckerberg because the user interface changes all the time, right? So to do it live, and you demand a lot of money for it, and it's worth it.
Yeah.
So one of the key distinctions is, rather than think of yourself as a salesperson and in a silo, think about yourself as a connector. If you think of yourself as a salesperson, then the ABCs mean always be closing. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a Glenn Ross fan to know that. Or most sales trainers say that, and I have nothing against sales trainers. Yeah. But I like always be connecting. If you're connecting with other people who are direct competitors of yours, and you end up interviewing them, kind of like a Napoleon Hill, right? Then you end up finding their best practices. You end up edifying them and uplifting them, and you're connecting with them, so you're not siloing yourself. You're not trying to close sales with people isolated, and then when you fail, you got to completely let go of that product, right? So one thing that comes to mind is when I was first starting out, I got into the frozen yogurt and bakery business, which I knew nothing about. Okay. And it was in Long Beach, California. It was 1989. Within 18 months, $242,000.
Oh.
Most of it not mine. Grandparents left it
Did
to
you
me,
at least get
parents.
some frozen yogurt out of it? I mean, was it
I was the only
blown
one
into
eating
inventory?
it. I was the only one eating it, right? And then, of course, I had high school people working for me that, were stuffing, M&Ms in their pockets and stealing them and stuff like that. But the thing I learned is marketing is tough enough. One of the biggest lessons for me is you have to know something about the target market or audience that you're after. So if you're a plumber and you're tired of it, teach other plumbers, how to do something, in an information product. If you're tired of a category that you've mastered, find a way to focus on that category because the marketing piece, is tough enough.
Yeah.
So what I did is I focused on how to allow and get other people to be successful. And so when you think of message, market, and media, the person buying the media is connected to the message and the market.
Yeah.
So I focused on media. The name of my company is Heritage House Media. So one of the best lessons is if you are in the media business, and let's say for me, I'm an interviewer of thought leaders and Hangouts, then I'm connected to them.
Yeah.
So I'm on the media side. I'm kind of like a Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. Or if I'm buying media for them, I'm seeing what's working, what's not working, and I'm getting paid no matter what.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
If I'm doing per sale media, where we're putting together joint venture partnerships, then I'm seeing what the messages are and what the market is demanding. And it's the safest place to be is in the media, zone.
Yeah.
And like technology, media companies are valued very high because they're very flexible and they can just switch up. So you're good at Facebook, well, what if one industry was dying? You could always switch to another one because Facebook advertising is always going to be there.
Yeah. And so this would be interesting just to break down your model. So I think it'd be nice if you walk us through how you earn income in that model as being on the media side, because I think it's really there might be a lot of people that could also have a business that's similar, because I think what's cool is you've got so many different opportunities from joint ventures with other people's products, with your own products. So just paint us a picture of what life looks like as a media company like that.
Well, initially you start with a topic. So my overarching theme is I'm a master virtual presenter, which stands for MVP.
Nice.
Right? That's kind of nice, right? And so I have 20,000 hours of virtual presentation time.
Wow.
In the days like in the 90s, I did teleseminars.
Okay.
Because that's the technology that was around. You have a bridge line, you have multiple people listening.
Yeah.
Then it shifted over to webinars.
Yeah.
And then when we had the bandwidth, we do live events like you have now.
Yeah.
And we do a live cast.
Sure.
Or during launches, there would be a live cast. So that's all virtual presentation.
Yeah.
Today, I looked at, okay, what are the two proven biggest players on the net? There's Google.
Yeah.
We call them Big Daddy. And then
Big
there's
Daddy G.
Big Daddy G. And then you got Big Mama Y, which is YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's bigger than Facebook as a social media network, right? Just recently happened. So you got Big Daddy, Big Mama. You put them together. That's a royal family, right?
Yeah.
Well, what is the virtual media source that they run? Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
Right. So all you need is a Gmail account.
Yeah.
And unlike live stream or Ustream or here a stream, there a stream, anywhere stream, whatever technology you use, usually it costs money. How much are Google Hangouts?
Yeah, it's totally free.
Free.
Yeah.
Are there glitches with it? Of course. It's technology. But the beauty is if something goes wrong, you can blame it on Google, which is better than blaming it on your webmaster. So here's the concept. So I take the media source and I say, okay, I want to be the king, or if you're a woman, the queen. Usually the queen rules the house anyway, right?
Right.
So I want to be the top dog or doggette of this topic. So I focus on Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
Right? And my topic is virtual presentation.
Yeah.
And Google Hangouts is the vehicle for that. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I do is I go out and I want to prove the concept that it works. So I go to people who are already getting success.
Yeah.
So as members of Transformational Leadership Council, I go to the people who are in TLC, such as Jack Canfield and Raymond Aaron and a bunch of people who already have a following.
Yep.
And I say, I'd like to interview you, and let's see if we can sell the offer, instead of on a webinar, on a Google Hangout. So you have a proven model, webinars, right? And I say, let's move it to a Google Hangout and see if it works.
Yeah.
And it's free.
And so what I like about that is when you go to that influencer that has a huge, a list and network, so you're reaching out to them to add value and say,
For
hey,
free.
For free. Okay.
For free, just like you do.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm doing it is if I put a price tag on it, it would take longer.
Yeah.
I could do it, but it would take longer.
Yeah.
So I go to 5 people. How many?
5.
Not 1,
Yeah.
not 2, not 3, because 5 will get me 3 or 2 really good case studies.
Okay.
From those 5, okay, I get proof of concept, and if 1 didn't work, that's even better because it's more believable.
Yeah.
And this is all within the research realm. I'm proving the concept. I get a testimonial from them. So the testimonial format, just so if anyone's watching, people don't usually use it, it's PAR. What was the predicament that they were in before me?
Yeah.
What was the action they took after they met me?
Yeah.
And what's the result they got?
Sweet.
PAR, predicament, action, result. So
Okay.
far, so good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we have some success stories and some testimonials.
And real quick, I just want to drill down into, so when you reach out to the
Social,
Raymond area,
we'll call them social influencers.
the influencers, and I think for anybody, I mean, it could be whether you're in the dating and relationships niche,
Any niche.
So basically, what you've done is you're the person that's going to add value. You're going to
I'm in
host
their
the
niche.
Hangout.
It's
You're in their niche.
co-opetition, right? I could be a direct competitor, but now I'm taking the position, I'm going to go back to the word observer, reporter, Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
That's the position I'm taking. I'm Larry King, I'm Barbara Walters,
Yeah.
I'm Oprah Winfrey. I'm the person interviewing them, and that's a big difference.
And so what I love is that anyone can do that in their space.
Any.
And it's like the branding by association is when you put your face next to a Jack Canfield,
You're
it's
borrowing
like you're
authority.
borrowing authority.
You're borrowing authority.
And so how...
And you're learning
along the
what's
way.
working.
Yeah.
And then, is that setting you up to get hired by them, perhaps?
Totally.
So can the next one be for a fee?
Yeah.
It was with Jack Canfield. I've done over 200 teleseminars with him. Every single one of them was paid, right, except for the first one.
Yeah. And so when you reach out and you're making that free offer, so walk us through what happens from there. So you do the live hangout, and are they using their audience to fill up that hangout?
Yes.
So because
here's the way it works.
Yeah.
So it's called the FIT formula, FIT,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So let's say you don't know the social influencer.
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing you do is you follow that influencer online.
Yeah.
Twitter, LinkedIn.
Because everyone's
Facebook,
accessible now. Yeah.
They're accessible.
No matter what your niche is, they're there.
Your goal is for, now, I just want you to repeat this, every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And I do it for 90 days. So I put their Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, if they have Google Plus, their Google Plus pages in a little folder on my desktop.
Yeah.
And I follow 3 of them.
Okay.
How many?
Trace.
3, because 3
yeah.
will get you 1.
Yeah.
Okay? And I follow them for 90 days.
Yeah.
Now what I do is each morning, first thing I do, I have a countdown timer in the other room. I showed it to you earlier, right?
Yeah.
What I do is I set my countdown timer to 30 minutes, no distractions, and I just go through the people I've chosen and look at the posts that they've done or other people have done for them.
Yeah.
And then if I can add value, which I always can, to that post, I retweet it, I comment, I share, but my face shows up
Oh yeah.
every day. Now, after 30 days, after 45 days,
Yeah.
after 60 days,
They know exactly
after
who you
75
are.
days,
Yeah.
after 90 days, they're going, who is this guy? Who's appreciating me? And you can't BS, okay? It's got to be genuine and authentic. So after that you've been acknowledged, then F is follow. Follow a social influencer. That's what F is in the FIT formula.
Yeah.
I is after they say, who are you? You say, well, I'm an admirer, as you can tell, and I want to invite you,
Yeah.
to a Google Hangout where you can invite your tribe. No opt-in required, just an RSVP. It'll show up on their Google Calendar,
Yeah.
which is better than an opt-in, by the way.
That's interesting.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You invite them, and will they invite their tribe? Of course they will. Do their tribe know you? Does their tribe know you? Of course, because you've been showing up for 90 days. You've laid the roots and foundation and the seeds. You've planted karmic seeds for 90 days.
Yeah.
And it grows faster than bamboo. And then you invite them, and then once they've said yes, you tell the world, and you invite everyone else, and you build the following. Now, do you really need an opt-in page? No. The moment you do an RSVP on a Google Plus page, which is free, by the way, first of all, you put a little banner I get for $5 on Fiverr.
Yep.
Right? And there's a video that goes live. If I want other people to watch it from anywhere, I give them the link of the Hangout, and you can put it on a WordPress site. And
the embed code,
the embed code, it can be in 1,000 different places. That's called syndication, right? But initially, I just have it at Google Plus.
Okay.
Right? And then that day, we just what we do is a very simple thing. We do what's called an ask campaign. So if you wanted to ask Jack Canfield any question, then just please type it below when you RSVP.
Yeah.
So you see all the questions publicly. Jack picks 7 of those questions. And now it's answers to the 7 most important questions for Jack Canfield. And if you chose one of them, right, if you're one of them to be chosen, you're going to be watching, you're going to be engaging. And so you have the video up top. When it's live, you have it down below. And then when it's done, you take that Hangout, you transcribe it, you already have audio, video, and the written word. Then you start going to Tumblr, iTunes, YouTube, article directories, and you start repurposing it. That one Hangout can give you months of traction. And does Jack like you as a result?
Oh, wow. Absolutely. Well, what I love is that you're building so much brand authority by putting yourself next to that influencer. You know, it's no different than doing a virtual summit, having a guy like you on this, and we're, you know, borrowing authority from all these experts.
That's right.
But the nice thing is that just doing that one and focusing in your time, where on this we've got 27, you know, world-class entrepreneurs. And what you're referring to is really, you know, narrowing it down and making it a simple process, build that one tight relationship that can open up doors networking wise. It sounds like, you know, bring in traffic and exposure. So what are the results that you found from doing that?
Well, there's some tremendous results that happen.
Yeah.
First of all, I have a lifelong relationship now. Number 2, I've interviewed him or her in such a way that every other interview they have is not as much fun.
Yeah.
So I'm remembered.
Yeah.
I'm invited to masterminds as a guest to speak.
Yeah.
I'm invited to their homes. You say, really, out of one interview? Yeah, out of one interview.
That's crazy.
And are they getting good feedback from their own tribe? Yes. Alex, why don't they do it for themselves? They can. No one's making them not do it, but they're exhausted. They can't do it. They don't have the objectivity. They don't have the manpower. In fact, it's not as much fun for them. It's more fun when someone does it from the outside.
Yeah.
And shows them how to do it and vets them.
Make it simple.
Make it very, very simple. We do the repurposing. It costs me about $500 to $1,000 an interview.
Okay.
Like I charge $4,500 for each one if I were to charge.
Yeah.
But for those, they're free.
Yeah.
And we spin it and we repurpose it and we get them more traffic. Now, when we get them more traffic to that Hangout, who else is getting the free promotion?
Oh yeah. Totally.
Me.
Yeah. The more viral that thing goes, the more that they promote, you know, the more places it shows up. I mean, you're the person on there with them.
That's it. I'm the leader from behind. I'm the guide from the side. They're the sage from the stage.
Yeah.
And this is the way, you know, I've built the business.
Yeah.
And, you know, FIT, follow, invite, and tell. And that's the way I get them to mail for me. Now, what's the next step in the Ascension model? Well, first, you borrow the authority. Next, you do the Hangout and the interview. The third thing is you have a course on Google Hangouts, which I do. Now, to my knowledge, I don't know anyone else who has a Google Hangout course that's generated 7 figures.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So why would the thought leaders who I've interviewed market? Because they trust me.
Yeah.
They like me, they know me. Does everyone like and trust me? No. But the ones who do, they will promote, and that's where I do get the opt-in.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you a very simple principle is sacrifice short-term profit in exchange for long-term wealth.
Yeah.
So don't take
That's
any money
huge.
up front.
That's huge.
Take it in the end. And here's the key. Never keep score. What goes around comes around. So it's karmic. You know, I don't like that word because people think of it as woo-woo or spiritual, but you're planting seeds. Funny thing about a seed, an acorn, a redwood seed, when you split an atom, you know, it's only the tiny causes that create massive effects. So can one hangout cause an entire viral spread of a concept? It did for The Secret.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a hangout.
Totally.
We're going to do 2 of them.
Yeah.
Before the launch, I'm going to ask you why this launch, why you, are you uniquely qualified, and why is now the time to say yes and continue education, right? And then the people who do buy, we're going to get them and we're going to ask them, what would have been the cost of not taking action? And what's your potential return on investment? Not just dollar-wise, but emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? And so we have 2 Hangouts, one at the beginning when the cart opens, when most sales come in, and one at the end when the cart closes. And since about 80% of the sales come in within 24 hours of the cart opening and the cart closing, we're going to goose your program. And that means we're going to, excite it and make more sales. And all the proof of buyers that come in between, that ends up becoming your testimonials for your sales letter.
Which is awesome. And I think one of my big takeaways, and I want to just kind of highlight this, is the COI, the cost of inaction, because you're catering towards the other side of that psychology of what happens if I don't take this action, and what am I missing out on, the fear of loss? Because that's a huge piece.
It's sticky. It's a really sticky concept. Now this is going to offend a lot of sales trainers. Okay? Because most sales trainers will focus on ROI, sell on ROI. When people will sit at this desk, and I'll be making a $25,000 presentation, and it won't be based on ROI. They'll put a $25,000 check on the table, and they say, Alex, what's my guarantee? And I say, I'm so glad you asked. And I put my hand over the check, I bring it over to me, and I tell them, you will never see this $25,000 again. That is for sure. That is the only guarantee. Because ROI is only determined and predicated by the person who is doing the hiring, not the person getting hired. I can't guarantee ROI. If they don't take action, no ROI. So I don't know what the ROI is going to be. It's left up to them. So how can I sell on ROI? It's not believable. Instead, what we sell on, not point B, that's what ROI is. We establish point B. Like we say, okay, well, what do you want to be making in 12 months? They always say the same thing, $10,000 a month. I go, okay, great. Everyone wants to make 10 grand. Why not 20, right? And then I focus on COI. Well, what are you making right now? 5 grand, which could be a lie too. So here's the COI conversation. Okay, so then the 10 grand where you want to be, minus the 5 grand where you are right now, you're telling me that you're 5 grand per month away, right? Until you make some change. And that's all we're focused on is change. Not working with me, but making a change. When they're telling me they're ready to make a change, then I'll say, are you open to finding out what making change with me looks like? See the steps? So then they say, yeah, I'm $5,000 a month away. So then, great. If you do the math, then you're really losing $5,000 a month by not making a change. And they go, well, not really. I go, what do you mean, why not? You want to be at 10, you're making 5. Can you make 10? Yeah. Do you have to make a change? Yeah. How do I know you have to make a change? And they go, I don't know. I said, because you're here. That's how I know you have to make a change. Then I ask them, how does it feel to be $5,000 in the hole every month from where you are now to where you want to be? That's not an ROI question. Okay. What happens if it's 6 months from now and you're still making that $5K a month? How is that going to make you feel? Right? Now, all the people who know NLP and all this other stuff, I'm not trained in that. But I'm just focused on point A. If I don't take action to make a change, then my life is not going to look as good as I thought it could be. Then we get to the point where I say, all right, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not likely, 10 being highly likely, how likely is it right now that you're willing to make a change right at this moment? Now, let's say they say 7. I say, great, what would make it a 10? Right? If they don't give me a 10, I don't continue. I say, interview's over. But if they say 10, then I don't let them off the hook. I go, how do you know? And they say, well, I just do. I go, well, tell me how you know that you're willing to make a change. So then they say, yeah, 10, I'm at a 10. Great. So we've had a COI conversation, cost of inaction. They're ready to make a change. Then I say, all right, Nick, is it okay if I share with you what it looks like to make a change with us in working with us for this $25,000 check that you have? They go, yeah. Then I tell them.
That is awesome. So that I mean, selling conversation doesn't feel like selling when you bring it about in that way.
It's enrollment. I'm pulling. I'm not pushing. You know?
I think, and what's awesome is, I mean, that's just a big flip where people it's almost like someone pulled the e-brake and it just like people just stop, in their steps, because when they think about selling someone or the fear of selling other people, whereas if you can just get
like the language down. I mean, this for like if you literally just rewind and go through what you just said multiple times, like that you can take that language. Yeah.
We teach sales organizations. I'm not trained in sales. My sales trainer was my mother, Carol Mandossian.
Yeah.
Growing up with her, and I had to con her into getting stuff from me and going to Disneyland and whatever, right? And she's a really tough audience. But I learned through modeling, I think, and just what sales trainers probably do, or salespeople. The best salespeople are usually door to door because they see so many nuances and circumstances. Network marketers are really good salespeople, the really good ones. So the COI concept is, let's not focus on moving towards point B and what that bright, shiny object looks like.
Yeah.
Let's put that there as like a North Star, but let's make point A so painful that you got to move. And I just want to usher you and shepherd you from point A. And everyone I teach that to, they get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're getting it as you're listening and watching this, but they get it from the first conversation, whereas ROI, a guru can make an ROI sale.
Yeah.
But the reason I came with the COI concept is non-gurus can make a COI sale. You can train anyone to talk about COI, because who's doing most of the talking? The person being interviewed.
Right.
No promises.
Yeah, it's I was just at like a Tony Robbins event, and I've heard this many different times, but people are more willing to go away from the pain than they are to go towards the pleasure. So the ROI is the pleasure, the pain is the COI. And so if you're painting that picture, and like you did, I mean, you kind of drill down and said, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel not, having that $10,000 per month, not being able, telling your wife that you can't go on that trip, or you can't buy the new shoes.
What will happen if it doesn't change? Right?
Yeah, and what will happen?
Well, it goes back to Galileo, it's not a matter of pain is more powerful than pleasure.
Yeah.
Pain is where the experience is.
Yeah.
Right? They have to make a change, otherwise they wouldn't be talking to you.
They're experiencing it now.
They're experiencing it, it's observable. Point B is observable, but it's not experiential.
And it's a distance.
It's away, it's outside. So point A is inside them.
Yeah.
Point B is outside them, typically. And what you do is not a matter of pain or pleasure, it's a matter of where they are now versus where they got to be. And the worst case is people lie to themselves where point A is. I mean, if you took off from Oakland Airport, which is not far away, or San Francisco, and you're flying to JFK, which is in New York.
Yeah.
If you thought you were in Oakland, but you're actually from San Francisco International, you would end up in Delaware, because you would be starting from the wrong place, right? So I love focusing on a bigger, brighter point B.
Yeah.
But unless you're clearly defined, self-awareness on where point A is, then you have no business starting.
Yeah. Yeah. Really interesting. I think that's this mastering, your conversation to make sales. Your selling conversation is key. And so just to recap, so we've had, we talked about Hangouts, how to use that model to build up your brand, build up your authority, your influence, your network.
Be a reporter.
Be a reporter, which is huge. And then the selling conversation and COI. And one thing I do want to dive back into is your thoughts on not having the opt-in there, because I feel like so many people, everyone's so obsessed about getting the email opt-in, which we need to do.
We do.
But tell us about that RSVP feature on Hangout, because to me that's very unique.
I don't think you can ask for an engagement proposal, not marriage, but engagement, which is an opt-in, right? We're engaged now, on the first meeting. And I think if you do, people don't take you seriously, and they philander around and go to other offers. So what I propose is, rather than ask for the opt-in for a Hangout, for an event, like for a webinar, you ask for the opt-in, right? But for a Hangout, you have Google Calendar. So when they RSVP, that automatically, when they've committed to that Hangout, it's going onto their schedule. So I'll take that all day. What do I need an opt-in for? It's showing up that you have this Hangout at this time. It's actually on the calendar.
Yeah.
Google Calendar is the online list #1, I would say, competitor going into the future, and it's not going to get noticed until more and more people see the value of it.
So what's so interesting is I mean, even for this virtual summit, you figure we did big campaign to get opt-ins, but the thing is that how many times do we have to email to remind people to show up live for these things?
A lot.
And so we've been trying to custom create and custom code a really simple plugin that we could get on people's calendars. And so we've come up with a couple kind of funky solutions, but so all you're saying is if you're reaching out to that expert person, I mean, they're not going to be crazy about running their own list that they already have opted in through another opt-in. So you're making it simple for the person that you're reaching out to as a reporter. Plus, you're making it easy and you're being the good guy for the consumers that no opt-in required. I mean, they just
not
have
asking
to,
for too much intimacy, commitment on their part. But in almost a sneaky way, you end up a lot more intimate.
on the calendar.
You're kind of in the bedroom, you know? Like you're not even in the living room. You're in the bedroom. You're in the calendar, and it shows up, and they say, what's this thing I committed to? They click on it, the Google link is there, and bam, there they are.
That's cool. And so on this theme, as far as like the Hangouts, so what any tips just as far as delivering them? So be the reporter, you use the FIT acronym to reach out to other people, and so you've got that live Hangout. Now tell us about just any tips or techniques to leverage the Hangout, and what can you do with it?
Well, the first thing is you have to have a good agenda on the Hangout.
Okay.
So we typically ask 4 basic questions. And this is the light version. There's an extended version that we could talk about another time.
Yeah.
But the 4 questions that you got to really ask about the topic, whatever the topic is, really appeases the 4 different types of learners that are out there. So the type of learner who is very, very impatient is the why learner. So you say, okay, why are Hangouts so important and relevant to our viewing audience? So that would be a question you would ask me. And all the why learners that were like crossing their arms and stuff like that, they go, thank you, finally, right?
Yeah.
And then the second question is, what is a Google Hangout by definition?
Yeah.
Now the what learner is like an academic. They want to know what something is, by definition, so they can just wrap their mind and heart around it. And they're almost as impatient as the why, but they're a little bit more patient, so you cover them second. Then a more patient type of learner is the how learner. So then you ask,
I'm a how brain.
How do Google Hangouts work on a step-by-step basis? And we've covered this pretty much in this interview. And then the fourth question is, well, what if? What if you did Google Hangouts? What would your life look like in the future? That's the bigger, brighter future question, like the what if learner. I'm a what if learner, which is also like a why not? Like, why wouldn't we do this, right? So it takes the why, it takes the what. We start with why. Simon Sinek has a book, start with why. But, why is the heart question, right? So start with why, then the what, then the how. And then, what if you did this? What would your life look like 30 days from now, 90 days from now? That's what you ask your testimonial people. You say, okay, well, what if you applied yourself and utilized this course on Facebook? What would your life look like in 30 days? What do you think it's going to look like in 90? How about it in a year? And guess what? Even if they're wrong, they're setting a cause into motion.
Totally.
And they're setting an expectation, which is finally positive, and the inner demons don't work. So those are the questions we got to have. Now, once the Hangout is done, then you take that Hangout. Do you have the video?
Yep.
Do you have audio?
Oh, yeah.
You can pull it.
Yeah.
Do you have written? You can transcribe it, right? And so what we do is we have a hub and spoke scenario. We have an offer. That's the hub.
Okay.
Right? So for you, it could be the summit.
Yeah.
And then you have all these interviews, right?
Yeah.
All those interviews, if there were Hangouts or any other type, right? You would do your Twitter tweets. For one interview, you could do tweets for the entire week.
Sure.
And the call to action is going to your irresistible offer.
Yeah.
You could have videos that were chunked. In fact, you have 4 different videos. You have the why question.
Yeah.
You have the what question. You have the how and the what if.
What if, yeah.
So those are 4 different videos right there, right? You have the podcast, the audio podcast on iTunes. You have the audio. People. You have how many articles you have, how many blog posts you have. So you repurpose it so that you dominate the keyword phrases, and the ideal is to name your Hangout the exact keyword phrase you want to dominate. So for me, I would name my Hangout how to make money on Google Hangouts. That's the name of my Hangout.
Yeah.
If you go to Google and just type in how to make money on Google Hangouts, how to profit with Google Hangouts, the productivity guy, king of funnel marketing, all these keyword phrases I dominate because my Hangouts are titled that way. Does Google discriminate in Google Plus's favor? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Of course.
So what's awesome, so basically by just the virtue of actually using a Hangout, that file that goes from Hangout to YouTube also ranks on Google. And so basically what you're saying is that this is almost like an unfair advantage to get your content to rank without having to do all kinds of complex website linking and all that.
Yeah, I don't know why people, like LinkedIn is awesome. I love LinkedIn. Twitter is awesome. Facebook is awesome. But if you want to be #1 on Google, don't you want to do video? And if you're going to do video, don't you want to do a Hangout that's both on YouTube and Google?
Right.
So how do you become number one? Do a Hangout. You know, and people still, you know, ridicule this, which I'm fine with because it just gives me a head start. They even violently oppose it. The Google Plus people don't like the fact that I'm teaching a course and I'm making money from it. I don't know why. It's just the way they are, right?
Haters.
But then ultimately, it's going to be accepted as self-evident. And there's this German philosopher said all truth goes through three phases. First, it's ridiculed. Next, it's violently opposed. And then it's finally accepted as self-evident. We're at the ridicule stage. So it's kind of like Facebook 2006.
Yeah, it's early.
It's like Google 2000. It's like Mac or Apple in the year 1984.
And so how does Google Plus play into this? Do you have to have an active Google Plus account to leverage this?
You don't, see, this is where the Google Plus people get really pissed.
Yeah.
I only have 7,000 followers on Google Plus, which is not a lot.
Yeah.
You can just ignore Google Plus.
Okay.
You can even ignore YouTube. Just do Google Hangouts.
And name them correctly.
And then you don't have to be a Google Plus.
Google Plus is, it kind of drives me crazy. I mean, it's just so much to learn and it just, you know, who has time for everything?
You know, it's there because it's got to be there.
Yeah.
But you can ignore it altogether.
Okay.
You know?
Well, that certainly works. Now, what about, so this is something that I'd love for you to drill down on, which is keyword research. So how do you name something correctly? So if we know now that doing a Google Hangout, using your strategy, shoot, you don't even have to have your own content. You can just reach out and be a reporter, interview someone else. So if someone wants to do that, what is their step for doing that keyword research? How do you do it
Find out who's
simply?
number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Google for a niche that you want to dominate.
Okay.
Find out who shows up in AdWords.
Okay.
And find out who shows up on organic search.
Okay.
And those are the keywords that you want. Now, the moment you land on page 1, you go to the other folks and say, hey, I noticed you're on page 1. Are you open to an interview?
Okay. Okay. So you're also leveraging the people that are already there.
Co-opetition, man.
Co-opetition, that's cool. And so to get someone's brain in the frame of like thinking about keyword research, I mean, do you just kind of take a step back and think of what is someone Googling to get there, or do you do any like keyword tools or anything, or like?
Well, for example, the AdWords tool is pretty good.
Okay.
You know, but it's biased towards AdWords.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things is to figure out just through your own testing and tracking.
Yeah.
You're going to type in a problem. One thing I know about keywords is they're problem centered.
Okay.
So, for example, menopause is a problem.
Yeah.
Hormone replacement therapy is a solution. Well, you get a lot more searches on the problem
side.
Okay, diabetes versus the cure,
Yeah.
right? The cure is that they want a solution that is the right solution for them. But when someone's in pain, like wedding planning, right?
Yeah. Save me.
Exactly.
I'm in that mode right now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So there's this, there's an urgent problem that's getting worse, and worse. So focus on the problem first,
Yeah.
you know, or the predicament, and then start typing in some keywords and find out who shows up. Now, when you see some patterns, and you see the same people keep showing up, right? Then you don't have to hijack their keyword phrases, you know, on their website, which you could find, you know, in some cases. You can just find out, hey, they keep popping up, so I must have landed on something, right? And if you're a brick and mortar business, just add the city, the geo-target, and then you've got the keys to the kingdom.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm not a Google, I'm not a keyword expert.
Yeah.
But I do know broadly enough, you know, where I want to rank, and I know if there's something that has high demand, and low supply, then that's something good.
Yeah.
So lots of people are wanting it, which is you can find out through an AdWord tool, but there aren't a lot of results. And when you have that, you have a sweet spot.
And so, and guys, that's just if you Google Google Keyword Planner, then that will pull up the tool, and then you just type in the terms. But really, I mean, you know, you just walk through how to type into Google and kind of get some research. And it's encouraging that you don't have to be some crazy guru with keywords, because for me, I mean, I just came in and learned Facebook advertising. I never learned SEO. So I was kind of I always felt behind the times.
Don't learn SEO. It's changing. It's more about authority versus backlinks now. Go to Google Plus and type in some keywords and see what pops up in Google Plus, because you have different research results when you're in Google than when you're outside of Google.
Totally.
People don't realize that. So you can find out the social influencers in Google Plus.
Yeah.
Just typing in some keywords, and then get out of your account and then type it into google.com.
Yeah.
And then see if the same things come up.
Yeah, very interesting. So we got a few more minutes left, and I wanted to cover a couple different areas. So I feel like we've got a great look into just some tangible business strategies, people that can implement and dive into. But tell us a little bit about just how you think about your business and why you do what you do. What kind of drives you. I think about a life on fire. It's being inspired, behind your business to do what you love. So, how would you just describe like your physical like purpose in the business, or what you feel like you're meant to do, or just curious about that as far as purpose goes.
I do three things well. I know how to design and create curriculum.
Yeah.
I know how to deliver curriculum.
Yeah.
Right, training. And then the third thing is what my purpose is training trainers.
Yeah.
To do the same thing. So my purpose in life is to leverage my knowledge base so that what I just shared with you,
Yeah.
I'm cookie cutting and teaching other trainers in multiple niches,
Yeah.
so they can get more social influence and spread their message out. Because I don't think writing a book is the only way to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
Your Google Plus account, your YouTube account
Yeah.
is your legacy. You're on video now.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
That's your vault.
That's true.
And so my
Yeah.
purpose in life is to train other trainers by teaching them their purpose in life.
And so, and that's awesome. I think like having that clarity, drilling down, and I can see how that does create legacy. And so I come across a lot of people that are searching for their purpose and things. And what has that journey been like for you? I mean, is it something that you've kind of always known, or you stepped into, or how would you give someone advice?
I knew it at age 4. When I'm bilingual. I speak Armenian too, right?
Okay.
So I used to recite classical Armenian, these 15-minute poems.
Yeah.
As a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid, looked like the milkman's son at St. Gregory Armenian Church in Pasadena, California. All the blue-haired women would come
Yeah.
up, and my cheek would be red from pinching it. Right?
Yeah.
They're all the widows who were
Yeah.
at the church. So I knew I would be a teacher. That
Yeah.
my mother's a teacher, my dad's a teacher, my sister is a teacher, my grandparents were teachers. So I knew I'd be a teacher, but the way I found my purpose is identifying what I didn't want my purpose to be first, by contrasting.
Interesting.
And that is the easiest way to find your purpose in life. What don't you want? Because that comes
yeah.
from experience.
Yeah.
So if you have enough don't wants,
Yeah.
you say, okay, well, what's the opposite? What's the opposite? And there are a lot of trainers that teach this,
Yeah.
but it's the simplest thing in the world is to list 20 things you don't want. And you're going to see a pattern of what you do want. I have to teach. If I don't teach, it's not like I'm not breathing.
Yeah.
And if I teach other teachers, if I train other trainers,
Yeah.
that to me is the holy grail, because now I have leverage. Jack Canfield and I have
Yeah.
a goal by 2030, by the year 2030, around my 77th birthday, that I will be that we would have trained over 1 million trainers.
Wow.
And the way that's possible is not by individually training 1 million trainers, is by training trainers so that
Yeah.
they're training trainers, and so on and so on. So there's 1 million trainers that have got this model. My training is COI and virtual training. So
Yeah.
how to train through the cost of inaction using virtual modality versus physical workshops.
That's awesome. So, so before we wrap up, I want to get to 2 more things. One would be just how we get in touch with you. So if you can just walk us through, how do
Sure.
people find you online? And if you have any, I would love for you to share. You've got so much content, so many things happening. So if you have something that is a free gift or anything that you would like to offer, we'd love to share that with everyone too.
Sure. I'm going to give you over 100 free gifts, because every Hangout I've ever done
Okay.
is online and it's public.
Cool.
Right? So marketingonlinehangout.com.
Okay.
You just go to past episodes
Yeah.
and just look at all the titles. It's a blog post.
Okay.
And they're all 45-minute to 1 hour Hangouts. It's all
Sweet.
free.
Okay.
The greatest gift is self-assessment. So if you go to marketingonline.com,
Yep.
okay, there's no opt-in there. There's an assessment.
Okay.
And once you take the assessment, you can come up one of 4 different styles. Are you an Oprah Winfrey? Are you an Albert Einstein? Are you a Lucille Ball? These are all older folks, right? Which are you an Abraham Lincoln? What are you, right? So which of the 4?
There's no like Ice Tea or Ice Cube in there?
No, not yet. But I'm sure he falls in one of the 4.
Yeah.
And it's a light version of Myers-Briggs, but
Okay.
Here's the key. You take the assessment, it takes about 5 minutes, and then we ask for the opt-in after you've taken the assessment.
Sweet.
If you want
to get the results.
If you want the report of findings.
Yeah.
Now this is a reverse squeeze process. Now if I get 1,000 leads that way, it's worth 10,000 leads with the traditional squeeze.
Interesting, yeah.
Because they
all want it.
They
want to be on there.
Right.
As opposed to being squeezed and
Plus,
tricked.
I know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
So they go into one of 4 buckets. So I talk to them differently.
That's so cool. Yeah, so definitely. What was the link for those 2 links again?
Marketing Online
Okay.
is where the assessment is.
Okay, cool.
Marketing Online Hangout.com
Cool.
is where to get all the hangouts.
So guys, grab your free assessment. Figure out if you're Oprah, Abraham, Ice-T. No.
Yeah. Not J. Abraham, but Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. Figure out which one you are in the assessment. I'm going to walk through that too and see where I fall. And then join the conversation back on the live page. And so I want to definitely thank you for your time here today. And I encourage you guys to grab those past Hangouts too, because I think to see a guy who's mastered,
just to see the way you do it.
Yeah.
And go back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
And see how
how
bad
you've
they
evolved.
were. See how bad they were.
I mean, to master with over 10,000 hours for over, what is this going on to a little over 2 decades?
Actually,
of doing
20,000
this.
hours since 1991.
Wow.
So it's like a double mastery. Like it's 10,000 as a master. I do about 3 hours of virtual presentation every day.
That's incredible. I mean, so everything they could be modeling and checking out your interview style plus the content. I mean, the people that you're interviewing are just incredible. So so definitely check out those links and get involved with Alex. And then before we wrap up, last final question.
Get involved with Nick.
Right.
First.
God. Before we wrap up, is just what's one random factoid? It could be what's one thing that most people don't know about you. It could be on the personal side. Could be a talent you have, a skill, but just kind of a random off the wall. What's one thing most people don't know about you?
I'm studying to be a Buddhist master right now.
Really?
3 hours a day at night. Yeah, a Geshe, which is a PhD in Buddhism. And my teacher is the first Westerner to have gotten that distinction, and I'm studying to do that.
Wow.
And another random thing is I'm a national squash champion. Squash is a sport.
Oh, really?
And overseas a lot. And I was a national champion in the year 2000.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's a different.
So we got a double dose.
Right.
And so the training, the 3 hours a day. I mean, is that
all on audio?
All on audio. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're just
at night.
plugged in, listen to it.
Plugged in, listen to it. There's a thick notebook up there. There's 25 of those.
Okay.
That size. I mean, Buddhism's pretty intense.
Pretty,
right?
yeah.
And so it'll take another 10 years, but I've been doing it for 5, and I love the cause and effect, not only as a spiritual practice, but little causes create massive effects, and the whole concept of karma is scientific, it's not spiritual.
Yeah. And so what's the end effect after studying this? I mean, is it just happiness, enlightenment, or?
Happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah, being happy with who I am.
And that's it right there, a life on fire, being happy from the inside out. Alex Mandossian.
Thanks, man.
Thanks so much. This has been awesome.
Thanks.
Sweet.
I'm here to help you set your life on fire.
All right, Nick Unsworth here. What's going on? Just, cruising.
All right. So we are back. So how awesome was the session with Alex Mandossian? And there's just so many tidbits, so many nuggets to take away. And I mean, if nothing else, I think we all need to get one of those vibrating, crazy exercise machines, if nothing else. So before we wrap up for today, I just want to encourage you to join the conversation on the live page right here where you're viewing this. So feel free to type in any questions that you have below, and feel free to join in on the conversation. And I also want to share with you guys, and just make sure that you're aware. So in our last session before this with Valerie Shootman, we had a very awesome, exciting offer for you guys. And one of the things is that if you want to really rapidly grow your business incredibly fast, one of the ways to do that, you've got Google Hangouts. One of the other ways is, of course, Facebook advertising. And so if you want to join Valerie and myself with our Done For You Facebook advertising course, Done With You Facebook advertising course, I'm just going to jump over and share just a couple tidbits with you about that as well. So what I'm going to do is jump over to the screen here. And basically what Val and I are offering is hands-on live coaching. So it's Facebook advertising done with you. It's how to build authority and attract ideal clients with a Facebook marketing funnel. And so we're going to walk through everything on our live coaching calls. We're going to help you figure out and narrow your ideal target market. We're going to help you figure out, who is your perfect customer, and then how do you find them on Facebook, and how do you draw out those leads and attract them to you and be able to make sales in your business. And we're going to help you with our 3-pronged approach, which is to basically, first and foremost, you got to make sure that you know exactly what your Facebook marketing strategy is so that you can monetize and get more clients fast. And then also, how are you going to increase your conversions to actually create the lead flow to your business, and then also accountability to help you get it done and set up fast. So why you need a Facebook marketing funnel is because you want to tap into one of the best paid media sources of traffic to grow your business. And some of the things that we're going to, some of the takeaways that you're going to experience in your business is that Facebook marketing creates a celebrity-like brand positioning. So you want to be perceived as not only the go-to person in your industry or the expert, but you want to be seen everywhere. You want people to think that you're just everywhere. You want to get other opportunities. You want to be able to charge more. You want to build your brand, build your authority. You want to make sure that you're building your email list, and if you can use Facebook advertising to build your email list, you are going to be in great shape. And so also you want to make sure that you've got the right mentorship and the right coaching. And so the main outcome for this course is that Valerie and I are going to go through and we are going to teach you live. And the reason live is so awesome and so important is because we're going to be there to help you make sure that you're not overwhelmed, you're not stressed out, and that we're going to make sure that we help you get set up the correct way from the beginning. If you don't do Facebook advertising the right way, you can lose a lot of money. And if you do it the right way, you can make a tremendous amount of money. And I want to ask you what it would be like for your business if you had more leads than you knew what to do with. How would your business change if you had an extra abundance of leads? And that's one thing that we've identified is that for any business owner, the core piece behind the business, the number one frustration, the biggest challenge is always sales. It's not having enough revenue coming in. There's plenty of challenges in a business, but the biggest one is sales. And how do you get more leads at a lower cost? How do you get them to be more ideal? So we're going to walk through together on live sessions. The first one is going to be drilling down on your ideal customer. We're going to do hot seats. We're going to help you with our one-on-one coaching to help you uncover your target market and help you set up and optimize your ads. Session number 3 is how to set up your Facebook marketing funnel so that you're dominating your market. Then we're going to flip back to doing hot seats. Session 5, our step-by-step process on how to set up your Facebook advertising campaigns for maximum conversions. And so what's awesome is that this course is it's priced in a way where it's incredibly affordable if you want to drive more leads to your business. And the upside is what's awesome. We've got a client that has made an additional $1 million in the business, which is incredible. And it was all from Facebook advertising. We've had clients that have made their first $1,000 online. We've had clients that have made 5 figures by doing live webinars. And at the end of the day, it comes down to your willingness to roll up your sleeves and to work with us and allow us to help you. And then it comes down to how much do you want to put in your Facebook ads. If you put in $1 on Facebook and you get back 2, our suggestion is then to continue to optimize and to rinse and repeat and do that over and over and over. So we're going to then dive into more hot seats and then how to optimize your Facebook ads for traffic and conversions and finalize things in session 8 with hot seats. So at the end of the day, if you know that you want to grow your business, you know that you need more leads and you're not happy with the income that you have today and you want the next step, then all you have to do is go to lifeonfire.com/Facebook. And again, that's just lifeonfire.com/Facebook. This offer ends really, really soon. This is something that it is a small group. It's totally live. It's something that Valerie and I are doing with a small group of people. So again, it's lifeonfire.com/Facebook. And when you get there, we've got a really affordable payment option for you guys, and you can tap into that there. So lifeonfire.com/Facebook. And Once you do, you get to this very page, and then all you have to do is click the Add to Cart button, and that will pull up our done with you Facebook advertising course, which is $997. And it is as simple as that. We even have a 2-payment option for you, which is $547. So just want to make sure you guys are aware of that offer is ending soon. And then also we will be back with you on another session of the Life on Fire Virtual Summit on Thursday at noon Pacific as well. So again, if you would like to join us live for the Facebook advertising over-the-shoulder course, it is lifeonfire.com/Facebook. And we will be back live on Thursday at noon Pacific. You guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll catch up with you soon. Cheers.